Build a life worth living. 360 success. 360 success.
Welcome to 360 Success Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Ryan Knight. There's a quote I think about all the time. It says, "The cave you fear to enter holds the treasure that you seek." That's by Joseph Campbell. Let that sink in for a second. Because right now, there's something in your life that you're afraid to face. There's something you know that needs to change, something deep down that you know is holding you back, but you won't touch it. You won't let it go. You won't make the move. And I get it because I've been there. Let me tell you a story about a friend of mine. We'll call him John. John had everything: the money, the career, the family. On the outside, he looked successful. But on the inside, he was clinging to an identity, a career, a version of himself, if you will, that just wasn't working anymore. He knew it. His family knew it. He fought it because the idea of change, quite honestly, was terrifying. What would he do? Then one day his wife sat him down and she said something that shook him to the core. She looked at him in the eye and said, "I love you, but you are not the man I married. You are no longer the guy that would take risk. And if you don't change, you're going to lose everything." That was the moment for him. That was a wake-up call. John realized something painfully true, that if you're not growing, you're dying. And for the first time, he understood. He had to let go of who he was to become what he was meant to be. Now, let me ask you something. Why do we fight so hard to keep things that aren't working? Why do people stay in toxic relationships? Why do people keep jobs that they hate? Why do they refuse to evolve even when they know that they're stuck? The reason is because change is painful. And most people will do anything to avoid pain. But listen to me. If you're not willing to go through the pain of change and reinvention, you are choosing the pain of stagnation. And stagnation is sickness and death, whether it's mental or physical. Think about this. Every empire, every dynasty, every great civilization that has ever fallen, it wasn't just because of some external force that attacked them. It was because they refused to adapt and grow. They didn't want to keep doing things the same way, or they did want to, while the world around them was evolving. And that's exactly why most people, or what most people do in their own lives. But if you actually want to break free, if you want to level up, there are 5 things that you need to understand. Number 1, comfort is the enemy of greatness. The second you settle into comfort, you stop expanding. And when you stop expanding, you start dying. Most people think they're doing fine, but other people can see that they're just making excuses. I've seen it in business, in personal friends of mine. I've seen it in relationships. People that just say, "This is just who I am." No, that's who you've chosen to be. And that's the place where you decided to settle. And when you decide to settle, you start declining. Number 2, destruction is necessary for creation. You cannot build this next version of you, of yourself, while you're clinging to the old one. You have to be willing to tear it down, to gut it, and to rebuild it from the ground up. A phoenix doesn't rise from the ashes until it's burned first. So here's my question for you. What in your life needs to be burned down? Because until you're willing to identify that, you will never be free. Number 3, you're fighting the wrong battle. Most people spend their energy fighting change when change is the only thing that's going to save them. I'll prove it to you. Think about a time in your life when you fought against something. Doesn't matter what it is, you fought against it. But looking back, it was the best thing that could have ever happened to you. It may have looked horrible on the surface, but then looking back, maybe you lost your job. Maybe your relationship ended. Maybe you hit rock bottom, and at the time it felt like hell. But now you realize it was necessary. That wasn't destruction. That was transformation in disguise. Stop fighting change and start leaning into what is trying to shape you. What's God doing? Trying to shape you and change you. Number 4, pain is the price of transformation. If you want to level up in your business, your health, your relationships, in your faith, it's going to cost you something. Growth is never free. It's going to cost you time. It's going to cost you comfort. It's going to cost you the death of old habits. It's going to cost you your identity. And some of you are not willing to pay that price. And that's why you're stuck. You say you want something different, but you're not willing to become something different. Number 5, your next level requires a death. Yep, the person you are today is not the person who's going to get you to the next level. That version of you has to die. What got you here won't get you there. A new, stronger, more evolved version has to be born. This is why successful people keep evolving. The most successful people I know reinvent themselves constantly. They're not afraid to let go of their old self in order to become something greater. But you have to be willing to change. Look, I've had to go through this process over and over again personally. Every time I thought, hey, I've finally made it. Every time I feel like I've arrived, or Amy and I have arrived, I had to look myself in the mirror and ask, I'm comfortable, but what do I need to burn down or burn out of me in order to build what's next? And I'll tell you this, it is absolutely never easy, but it's 100% worth it. So I ask, what are you clinging to right now that's keeping you stuck? What version of yourself are you refusing to let go? What belief, what habit, what relationship, what story are you repeating in your mind that's keeping you small? Because here's the truth. The world is moving forward with or without you. Evolution doesn't wait. And if you're not willing to gut the parts of you in your life that no longer serve you, you're going to be left behind. Stop fighting for comfort. Start fighting for greatness. And be willing to sacrifice it, to burn it all down in order to build something better. Because your next level, that's waiting on the other side of your fears. Now it's on you. Are you ready? Are you willing to make those changes? Are you willing to do what's necessary and step into the calling? Some of us have callings on our life that are God-given, and we are absolutely afraid of them. But you know what? There's an old saying that if he called you to it, he will see you through it. And so don't be afraid of change. Let's do it. That's all I've got today. Thank you for joining us. If you enjoy our content, please like and share it with others. You'll never know how much it means to us. Thank you so much.